Have you ever opened a brand new app and just felt completely lost? You're clicking around, you're not sure what to do next. Yeah, we've all been there. Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain and look at the invisible secret that makes a great digital experience actually work. I mean, it's a fantastic question, right? You download two apps that do pretty much the same thing. One of them just clicks, it feels like it's reading your mind. The other one, though, feels like a puzzle where half the pieces are missing. What is the deal? What makes that huge difference?
Well, believe it or not, the answer usually isn't in some super complex code or flashy graphics. It's in the words. The secret weapon is something we call content drafting. It's this craft of turning digital chaos into total clarity, all by choosing the exact right words to make technology feel less like a cold machine and more like a genuinely helpful guide.
All right, so let's really dig into this. The best way to think about a content drafter isn't just as a writer, but as an architect of clarity. They are literally building the verbal foundation for an app, creating a structure of understanding for you, the user, long before any code is even written.
So what is it, really? At its heart, content drafting is all about one simple idea. Stop using vague placeholder text and start using real, meaningful words from the very beginning of the design process. We're talking about everything: the labels on buttons, the little instructions in a form, the error messages that pop up.
And this slide just nails the difference. Look at the left side. That's the designer's equivalent of a blank space. Button label? Enter data? That tells you absolutely nothing. But look at the right. Create my account. Bam! It's a clear action. It removes all the guesswork and gives you confidence, because you know exactly what's going to happen when you click that button.
And that's the whole point. This isn't just about filling in boxes on a screen. It's about guidance. Really good content acts like a friendly guide who takes you by the hand, leading you from wherever you are to whatever your goal is, and making sure you never, ever feel lost or stupid along the way.
But you know, this guidance isn't just about giving directions. The way an app talks to you, that gives it a real personality. And that brings us to our next big idea: finding the right voice for your product.
Think about it for a second. Every time you use an app, you're basically having a conversation with it. And the words it uses create a tone, and that tone tells you everything about its character. Is this a super serious professional assistant, or is it more of a cheerful, laid-back friend?
So, designers have to make a really conscious choice here. Are they building something that needs to feel formal and secure, like a banking app? Or is it supposed to be fun and casual, like a social media app? The tone has to perfectly match the purpose. Now this is where it gets really cool. This table shows how the exact same action can feel completely different. Error, invalid submission is so direct, very impersonal. But oops, something went wrong, that feels way more forgiving, more human. Neither one is wrong, they just create totally different feelings for the user.
And whatever voice you choose, consistency is everything. I mean, imagine if your super friendly, casual app suddenly hit you with some really formal, technical jargon on one screen. It'd be jarring, right? It totally breaks the trust and the cohesive feeling you have with that product.
Okay, so we've got the right words, we've got the right tone. But guess what? That's only half the bottle. Because where you actually put those words and how they look is just as important. Which leads us right into our next section, putting words in their proper place.
This is where content and visual design have to be true partners, working together. Through careful choices about arrangement, size, and color, designers can send these powerful, unspoken signals to you, telling you exactly what's important and what you should do next. For example, making text really big and bold is the easiest way to scream, "Hey, look at me first." This is your headline. This is your main call to action. It's the very first thing your eyes should be drawn to on the screen.
And then, by contrast, smaller, less emphasized text quietly says, hey, this is just some extra detail if you need it. And it's this separation, this contrast, that creates an organized, easy-to-scan, and honestly, a stress-free screen. It lets you instantly get the main point without getting lost in all the details.
So it all really boils down to these two simple steps. First, figure out the single most important thing on that screen and make it pop. Then, organize everything else around it in a way that feels clear, logical, and easy to follow.
So we've looked at what content drafting is, how it creates a personality, and how it works with the layout, but what's the end result of all this work? Well, it's time to talk about the ultimate payoff, why getting these words right matters so much.
See, when content is drafted with care, it does way more than just fill space. It actively reduces confusion. It builds that consistent, trustworthy personality we talked about. It makes the entire product way easier to use. And maybe most importantly, it makes sure that the whole experience is clear and accessible for every single person who uses it.
At the end of the day, it all comes down to this one simple truth. The words are not just decoration. They're not an afterthought. They are the foundation. They are the invisible architecture that shapes how we feel and what we do every single time we interact with technology.
So I'll leave you with a little challenge. The next time you open your favorite app, or hey, even one that drives you nuts, really pay attention to the words. What's its tone? Is it guiding you clearly, or is it leaving you confused? Because now you know the secret of the unsung hero of good design.